Bonjour, Madame la Ministre.
Good morning, Madam Minister. I want to welcome you. We're so happy to see you.
Our next interaction. Last fall, there was some serious allegations with respect to advanced pricing arrangements. Can you update the committee? Maybe do you know any more than you did back in the fall about some allegations with respect to how advanced pricing arrangements have been given out? This was reported in the CBC and some other articles as a whistleblower case, saying that there's some challenges in how advanced pricing arrangements were being used in the department.
I will let the people from the agency itself to answer that technicality.
I'm happy to take the question, Mr. Chair. So these are a series of allegations that were made a number of years ago. They were investigated a number of years ago, and the results did confirm that no serious wrongdoing was committed. It was in relation to a particular advanced pricing arrangement, and we were satisfied that all the necessary steps had been taken and that no inappropriate favorable tax treatment was given to a taxpayer.
Thank you. So from your perspective, there's no additional follow-up required on this matter?
The matter was fully investigated at the time, yes.
I think there was a commitment to some transparency with respect to that complaint. Has there been any kind of public disclosure of that investigation, or is that an internal? Are these documents kind of internal to CRA and they remain there? Does the Ombudsman look into it?
The matter and the allegations related to a particular taxpayer, and therefore the confidentiality provisions of the Income Tax Act do apply.
Thank you. On the confidentiality provisions of the Income Tax Act, Section 241, the Parliamentary Budget Officer has expressed some concern with respect to the timeliness of information that it receives from the CRA. Minister, are you aware of the concerns of the Parliamentary Budget Officer? And, do we need to make an amendment to Section 241 to make sure that a parliamentary officer has the information to do his or her job appropriately?
I'd like to say to my colleague that confidentiality of the data that is transmitted to us by taxpayers and by businesses is something that must be protected. There are rules that are very clear at the present time at the CRA surrounding Section 241, and we also have internal discussions to the effect that we ask ourselves, is there some way of improving confidentiality, but is there some way of making public statements? I admit that there is work that remains to be done, but it is a matter of confidentiality and the linkages between taxpayers and the agency. It is of prime importance for me and for the fiscal system, the tax system.
Would like to read you the quote just so you know where the Parliamentary Budget Officer is coming from. Every single time we have an interaction with the CRA, we get incomplete information. It has to be vetted before sending us aggregate tax information. So I think in some circumstances where they're asking for anonymized data, which would not identify a particular tax filer in the aggregate, where they're having some challenges and using Section 241. So I'll leave that with you to maybe contemplate as you're thinking about how to better collaborate with our Parliamentary Budget Officer. One of the items I was happy to see the recent news release about the underused housing tax. There was some leniency given to this year's filing. We have heard a lot of feedback from taxpayers about how difficult and potentially confusing it is. One of the things I would like to leave with you as a suggestion would be if you file the return 1 year, you should only need to file the return once for a property until that property is sufficiently disposed of or the control of that property changes. Requiring taxpayers to fill out a form every year seems significantly onerous, which I think will keep with the principle and the spirit of the idea, but not unduly require a burden on taxpayers.